In its lawsuit against the SEC, Ripple wins yet another small victory. Judge Netburn, who is presiding over this case, gave a whole bunch of rulings on a whole bunch of motions that had been outstanding for a while, just the other day, and it just recently came out with another ruling, this one in favor of Ripple yet again. Not only does it favor Ripple, this really underscores, at least in my opinion, what the judge's thoughts are in terms of this case and who's actually up for trial. Is it Ripple? Is it XRP? Or is it actually the actions of the SEC? And in some big news that actually probably goes unnoticed unless you're a hardcore XRP holder, one of Ripple's newest clients, D-Local, who is a payments processor that allows merchants to receive and send money, that uses the RippleNet platform and uses XRP to send cross-border payments, they recently partnered with Amazon and now allows international merchants to target the country of Brazil. Now this is big for pretty much everybody involved, for Amazon, for Ripple, and for the country of Brazil. And it allows for the RippleNet network to continue to expand. And in some Bitcoin news, Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss, who are well known in the crypto space because of their investments in Bitcoin, made them the first Bitcoin billionaires. Well, they're now worth approximately $6 to $8 billion, somewhere in there. And they were at Bitcoin 2021 in Miami, giving some interviews, giving some keynote speeches. And in one of those speeches, they actually said that they believe Bitcoin will be worth $500,000. I'm going to tell you what their time frame is and what their expectation is as to if or even when you should sell. Because their prediction is that Bitcoin is going to be that gold 2.0. Hey everyone, my name is Randy and welcome back to the Late Night Grind. In this channel, I'm covering the SEC versus Ripple, as well as other cryptocurrency news. So if any of those topics interest you and you want to follow along, make sure you're subscribed. So hit the subscribe button and also click the bell notification icon. That way YouTube will notify you when I release a new video. So if you're feeling really generous, I greatly appreciate it if you go ahead, give it a big thumbs up. Helps out with the YouTube algorithm and basically just tells YouTube to share this video with other audiences. So if you do that, I greatly appreciate it. And let's jump into it. If you've been watching my videos for some time, you know that my stance is that Bitcoin is the biggest driver of the crypto market in terms of value, interest, media coverage, and pretty much everything like that. So whether or not XRP holders hold Bitcoin, or whether you just laugh at all the Bitcoin maxis like Max Kaiser and Michael Saylor, one thing is that if you actually look at the charts and study the charts, Bitcoin is still the biggest driver of the crypto ecosystem. At least it is right now. So the Winklevoss twins were down in Miami for Bitcoin 2021, and while on stage they were talking about their predictions in terms of the value of what Bitcoin is going to be. Now, it's all across the map in terms of some of these biggest Bitcoin holders and their predictions of what it's going to be in the next 2 years, 10 years, 20 years into the future. But the Winklevoss twins, who were the first Bitcoin billionaires, they actually bought in for about $11 million back in 2013. It exploded. Now they're worth about $6 to $8 billion, depending on what the price of Bitcoin is. And they are all in, saying that they believe that Bitcoin is essentially the new gold 2.0. And they believe that a $500,000 Bitcoin is going to be happening within the next decade. Now that's essentially a 10x, but if you see where Bitcoin came from, in the last 10 years, it did a lot more than a 10x. Now, of course, there's a lot of things at play because there's always new cryptos coming into existence, new crypto companies, new coins with new utilities that could give Bitcoin a run for its money. Now, of course, right now Bitcoin has the biggest name, and right up until recently, they were kind of being thought of as the old dinosaur in the room, and not being able to keep up with these newer companies, except now they actually are. Bitcoin in November will be rolling out its newest update, which included things like smart contract enablement, new security measures, new signature measures, and a few other things. So everybody involved in that upgrade, whether that's the miners, the developers, people running nodes, they all have to agree on something. And right now they're agreeing that they want to keep Bitcoin front and center of the crypto market. So a $500,000 Bitcoin, what would that mean for all the other altcoins? Well, you're going to have to look at Ethereum as being another one that's going to skyrocket. As they move from proof of work to proof of stake, as well as they're trying to become a deflationary asset, you'd have to imagine that Ethereum is going to be well past a $10,000 price, which is what noted crypto trader Lark Davis is now saying. $10,000 Ethereum is in the near term. And I saw one the other day that said $85,000 within the decade. I guess if Bitcoin's at $500,000 and Ethereum at $85,000, that's a possibility too. And now, of course, you got XRP that's in the middle of pretty much anything. And if you're a hardcore XRP holder, you know that XRP could essentially be touching every single transaction of value on the planet. Well, at least that's their hope. And regardless of what's happening with this SEC case, their RippleNet network continues to expand. So as I mentioned earlier, one of their newest clients, DLocal, which is a South American payments company that uses RippleNet to send cross-border payments and actually uses XRP, is expanding even more. They actually partnered with Amazon to allow the entire country of Brazil to be targeted by international sellers through Amazon. So what this is going to do is allow companies from other countries sell their products into Brazil, and it's going to allow the merchants to actually be able to send and receive these cross-border payments much quicker. And not only that, DLocal actually just went public on June 3rd. Now, this was an interesting note to me because it's now almost 2 weeks later, and I just saw this information today. And by doing so, they were actually able to raise $617 million by going public. So you know that they're going to be expanding their network even faster, which of course benefits XRP holders. What else benefits XRP holders? Well, the good news that's coming out of the SEC case so far. So in getting into this latest, I don't want to call it a victory, but this latest news that more so benefits Ripple's side of things, is where Judge Netburn came out and ruled in favor of Ripple in this. The SEC had argued that they wanted to try to get all of Ripple's lobbying efforts to be uncovered and to see those documentations. Well, Ripple's one of the biggest lobbyers in all of the crypto space in Washington, even though that's a very tiny pool. There are not many crypto companies lobbying in Washington, but Ripple is one of the biggest ones. Well, in the judge's ruling, it sided with Ripple and basically telling the SEC that Ripple's lobbying efforts really have nothing to do with the sales of XRP during the time period which you filed in your complaint. And she's absolutely right. Now, one of the things that the judge did allow on the side of the SEC is they allowed for several more depositions, which is what the SEC wanted. But nonetheless, keeping Ripple's lobbying efforts under wraps is a big win for Ripple. And so what does this actually mean within the context of this case? Well, so far, every ruling that Judge Netburn has given, especially the ones that have favored Ripple, have largely been centered around what the SEC is or isn't doing, and not necessarily what Ripple is or is not doing. And so in this particular case, this motion that the SEC filed to try to dig up all the papers, all the lobbying efforts that Ripple's been doing, the judge is like, well, that's irrelevant. It's irrelevant to what you're actually charging them with, and that's what I want to keep this case focused on. Now, Ripple's biggest defense is the fair notice defense. And if they actually succeed with that defense, the case is done. It's over. There is no more discussion. And so the SEC is doing their best to try and put all the information they can find against Ripple's fair notice defense, because I'm sure the SEC knows that unless they can come up with something substantial, Ripple's probably going to win this case, because anybody that actually looks at this case with half a brain or any kind of common sense would see that, yeah, if the SEC was looking at what Ripple's doing for 8 years, and they don't do anything or say anything or give Ripple any indication that what they're doing could be illegal sales of a security, and then they all of a sudden do it on the last day before the head of the SEC resigns, may I add, that the judge is going to say, well, yeah, Ripple didn't have any notice as to what they were doing was wrong, and any average person wouldn't know that what they were doing was wrong if you were working with the SEC for 8 years and they didn't do anything about it. But as an XRP holder, I'm sure you already know those details. But it seems like every time Ripple has a motion go in their favor, this seems to be the case, and that what the SEC is doing is actually what is on trial, not is XRP actually a security. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you think Ripple's fair notice defense is actually going to hold up? I saw a comment in somebody else's video that was asking about staking different cryptos, and somebody basically said I'm actually staking my life on this Ripple case. I actually hope that's not the case, but I know there's a lot of XRP holders out there with a ton of XRP that are following this case literally hour to hour. If you haven't, hit the community tab on my channel. I put up another poll yesterday. You can go check it out, see what other members of the Late Night Grind community are answering, and don't forget to comment your thoughts down below. Once again, thanks for watching all the way to the end. I'd really appreciate it, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on the next video.